21 years, that's how long it took Chief Godwin Adimike to raise his son. 21 years of sacrifice, of believing that everything he built would one day become his son's inheritance. Then, God one night changed everything. Imagine holding your baby boy for the first time. That tiny weight in your arms. Those small fingers wrapping around yours, like they already know you. You stayed up through the nights whenever he cried. You carried him when he was sick. You skipped meals so he wouldn't miss one. You walked in the rain, in the sun, through exhaustion and uncertainty. Not for yourself, but for that child. You built something from nothing because you wanted him to have everything you didn't. You watched him crawl, then walk, then run. You dropped him at school gates with pride and hopes. You prayed for him always. You sacrificed for him. You built a life so comfortable that he would never know the struggles that shaped you. And then, 21 years later, he killed you. Today, we aren't just looking at a crime. We're looking at how the very thing you brought to life finally takes your life. His name was Chief Godwin Adimike, 53 years old. On May 15th, 2026, he became a headline no father ever wants to be. But before that, he was a builder. He came from Awka Etiti in Anambra State, one more young man who left home with nothing but ambition. He found his way into the electronics trade at Alaba International Market in Lagos, one of the largest, most competitive markets in West Africa. And somewhere in that noise, he built an empire. They called him Egonejeje, the one who cannot be shaken. He expanded into real estate, Lekki in Lagos, Maitama, and a quiet upscale district called Guzape in Abuja. By every visible measure, he had made it. But those who knew him say the money was never the point. He was remembered by many as a philanthropist, a man who supported widows, funded young people, poured money back into the town that raised him. And underneath the empire, he was still first a father. His son, 21, a serving member of Nigeria's National Youth Service Corps, was in Abuja, helping manage some of his father's property there. So that weekend, Chief Adimike did what fathers do. He traveled from Lagos to see his son. He would never make the trip home. What happened inside that house in the early hours of that Friday is still wrapped in grief, rumor, and dispute. Here is what we actually know. And here is where we have to be careful, because a family's future depends on getting this right. In the early hours of Friday, May 15th, a distress call reached the police division covering Guzape. A relative reported that Chief Adimike was unresponsive.
When officers arrived, they found him with multiple stab wounds. He was rushed to Karu General Hospital. He did not survive.
That much, the FCT Police Command has confirmed on the record. Everything else exploded on social media long before it reached the courtroom. And that's where we have to slow down. According to widely circulated, unverified reports, a heated argument broke out that night between father and son, allegedly over money, allegedly over comparisons to other fathers who gave their sons more. Some accounts claim the son had just returned from a night out. Others describe a dispute over managing the father's business affairs. None of this has been confirmed by any court. No judge has accepted a motive as fact. What is confirmed is this: 5 suspects were taken into custody in the days that followed, including, police say, a relative of the deceased. For weeks, that's where the story sat. A death, a grieving family, an investigation moving quietly behind closed doors, until the case reached a courtroom and took a turn few expected. In July 2026, the FCT Police Command formally arraigned 3 suspects before the High Court in Abuja, among them the deceased's own son and his daughter as well. They were charged not convicted, charged with criminal conspiracy and culpable homicide. The court remanded them and adjourned the case to later this year. We want to be exact about what that means. An arraignment is not a verdict. A charge is not a conviction. Under Nigerian law and everywhere else, every defendant here is presumed innocent until a court decides otherwise. This channel isn't a courtroom, and we won't hand down a verdict that only a judge has the authority to give. But we won't pretend the facts aren't devastating on their own. A father, dead. 2 of his own children now standing trial for his death. A family and an empire torn apart in a single night. The Adimike family has publicly disputed much of what went viral online and has asked the public to let the justice system work rather than convict anyone on social media. That's a fair request. So, we'll honor it. But this story has forced open a conversation far bigger than one family, one that keeps repeating itself in homes far beyond Nigeria. Because underneath the tragedy is a question every parent watching this has to sit with. Not what happened in that house, but how does a house like that get built in the first place? Here's what makes this story different. There was no poverty in that home, no hunger, no desperation. By every external measure, that 21-year-old had what most people on earth will never have. A wealthy father, a comfortable life, a real estate portfolio he was already being trusted to help manage. And still, if even part of what's alleged is true, it wasn't enough. That's the part that should unsettle every parent listening. Not the violence itself, the hunger underneath it. Because entitlement is rarely born from lack. It's built quietly in homes where there is no lack at all, where every want slowly becomes a need, where every no gets negotiated into a yes, where a child learns, one unchallenged moment at a time, that there's always a way to get more. Children raised in comfort without correction don't usually learn gratitude. They learn expectation. And they stop comparing their life to where their parents started. They start comparing it only to whoever seems to have slightly more. In 2026, slightly more gets broadcast to them every hour of every day. When a parent becomes only a source of things instead of a source of guidance, something shifts. The parent stops being a person who sacrificed, a person with limits and a right to say no, and starts becoming an obstacle, standing between the child and what he believes he's owed. That shift never happens in one night. It happens over years, in the disrespect excused because a child seemed tired, the boundary erased the moment it caused an argument, the apology that was never required because the parent always gave in first. To be clear, none of this predicts violence. The overwhelming majority of children raised this way never do anything close to what's alleged here. But every parent who has ever quietly wondered why their child always seems to want more, no matter how much he's given, is being asked by this story to look a little closer at what's underneath that question. Chief Godwin Adimike spent 53 years building something from nothing. An empire, a name people respected, a comfortable life for a son he clearly loved enough to cross the country just to see. Whatever the courts eventually decide about that final night in Guzape, one thing about this story doesn't need a verdict to be true. Love without limits isn't always love that protects. Provision isn't preparation. A full bank account doesn't raise a grateful child. Boundaries do that. Correction does that. A parent willing to be disliked sometimes so their child can learn to survive a no without falling apart. So here's the question this story keeps circling back to. Whatever the courts eventually rule, if you give your children everything except limits, what exactly are you raising them to expect? Rest in peace, Chief Godwin Adimike. And to everyone watching, If this made you think about your own home, your own children, we want to hear it. Tell us in the comments, where's the line between raising a grateful child and raising an entitled one?
Don't forget to subscribe for no reason.
Let this be enough. God, let this be enough.